All I can tell you is this. For you folks watching the DWSR hashtag, Neil Patrick Harris is probably going to be on location today or sometime this week. That's the only reason why they would come out and announce, a guest star this big so soon. And as somebody brought up, Doctor Who has had some amazing guest stars on it before. You know, well, we won't talk about Chris Noth because he's in the naughty trouble right now. But that's a big guy. Plus, you had Kylie Minogue in there. You had Derek Jacobi stepping in for a bit. Of course, Stephen Fry. Just to name a few. But Neil Patrick Harris, damn, that's one you don't expect, off the top of your head. Um, Now, what we do know is, of course, that he's worked with RTD before. But a lot of people are like, no way, not, they can't afford it. I'm like, yes, they can now. They can afford him. As I've told you before, folks, there's been a fundamental, huge shift as far as the budget goes for Doctor Who, which is why, of course, they'll use it to bury Chib's era, behind them. Now, one of the things I keep seeing is about how we know more about the 60th than we know what's going to be in the centenary, and it's like, folks, there's a reason for that. The centenary was filmed last year. Doctor Who, as far as Chibnall goes, wrapped on October 13th of last year. All of that was filmed when the COVID guidelines were still running around. So they had to film, either mostly interior shots, or they had to do private locations and things like that because COVID guidelines. All right, so that's why we didn't see a whole lot. Now that's why I'm dying laughing when there's a whole lot of guys going, "We had more fan interaction under the blah blah," and it's like, well, what do you expect? It's like, here's the thing: how is everybody so sure? And that's what I wanted to bring up. Who started the Celestial Toymaker stuff? Where did it come from? Because there's been no definite announcement as to who Neil Patrick Harris is playing. We have to remember the Doctor has faced quite a few big enemies over the years. Yeah, he did keep everything under lock and key, but the main reason we had no knowledge of what was coming was because of the fact that we didn't know what was being filmed most of the time, or when it was being filmed, or something like that. We did get lucky a few times there, but remember, COVID guidelines. It was a lot stricter filming for Series 13, aka Flux. Plus, he wants everybody to be surprised, and that's another bit of irony I enjoy that's going around there. You see, yeah, that's my thing. Where did this whole Celestial Toymaker thing come from, other than just pure speculation? Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just there's been a lot of greatest enemies the Doctor has ever faced. Um, there's, heck, when you think of all the biggies, between Omega, Sutek, you know, um, the Valyard, things like that. There've been some mega enemies. Now, folks, like I said, there's a lot. Some even hinted the name Davros, but I'm like, no, I think they've done enough with poor Davros. Oh yeah, I agree with you. It's purely because that is another thing. What if this is Rassilon come back? Because we know he took off before Gallifrey was wiped out by the Master. So Rassilon's still out there. I wish they'd left Tecteun out there, to be honest with you. I really did not like that they threw her into Flux. Like I said, it could be the toy maker, but like I said, at this point, that's just pure speculation. All right? Because a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon that it definitely is. And it's like, until I see something more saying that that's definite, okay. Um, Oh yeah, Cavanista, if I remember it, Carvanista or something like that. Yeah, the dog guy in Flux, of course, which everybody, all the usual suspects made fun of. I'm like, there was nothing wrong with Carvanista or Cavanista's, makeup and effects or anything like that. Yeah, a lot of people are getting those vibes, but like I said, just don't get your hopes up too high, because that's one thing that we do as a fandom. We look at something and say it's got to be this, and then it turns out to not be that, and we go ape shit crazy. So I'm just glad that Neil Patrick Harris is in there anyway. To be honest with you. Forgotten Realms is now in the Magic. Oh god, it's been forever since it's been a few years since I've played any form of D&D board top game, tabletop gaming or anything like that. Sadly, when I moved down here, that was pretty much the end of that, because the group I played with is still up there and towards Illyria, and well, they're gonna probably do that. Yeah, there'll probably be some motion capture stuff for Beep the Meat. I don't think they're gonna stick solely to the costume. The costume might even have been there as like a placeholder. Like like they. But the thing is, though, if that was the truth, that would usually be someone in a green screen outfit. Which is why I don't know why they didn't do that. Because if they made it a green screen outfit, then you'd have definitely not been able to tell that's Beep the Meep or anybody. That's what they had to do with characters like Rocket Raccoon and things like that. Or yeah, that's another thing. You're right. Thank you. What could be the meddling monk? The monk did come back in Big Finish, but the monk's never been back on the main show. There's been plenty of enemies that has been the greatest enemy ever. Plus, a lot of people are assuming it's an old villain. Remember, they said he's just the greatest enemy ever. Never said that he was a previous villain or anything like that. So maybe this is a whole new ball of wax. You don't know. Thank you very much. Yeah, you hit my point, Robert. Yeah, that what if this is a brand new foe? You never know. I died laughing because, like I said, I was talking about things we do as a fandom, and and like y'all say, it's not just our fan. It's not just the Doctor Who fandom that's crazy. There's a lot of them. I clicked on this video last night because it popped up in my suggestion box, and there's this guy on there going on about how, and I love this. He constantly referred to the show as, listen to this, Obi-Wan can blow me, and he's acting like he's all clever and all that, and he's basically a gatekeeper, and I'm like, dude, how are you declaring yourself as one of the gatekeepers of Star Wars canon when, like Doctor Who canon, Star Trek canon, all that, there have been so many novels, books, and other things that have gone on in that particular universe. And he's going off about articles and things like that, but I'm like, dude, your dad probably didn't have any hair on his balls when Star Wars came out. You're suddenly declaring yourself a gatekeeper of the fandom. Well, okay. Yeah. I'm hoping there is going to be a return of the Valeyard. That would be a nice thing for RTD to step in and do. But once again, you got to remember, the reason why we're hearing more about the 60th anniversary and all that is because, remember, the centenary is done. It's been filmed. The thing is this: there's going to be a whole lot more people, I think, appearing than Ace and Tegan, because Ray Holman gave that away. Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, Camille Vasquez got a promotion. Yeah, I saw that. But come on, she definitely earned it. And then, of course, you've got Amber Heard running around on TV about how she was robbed. How can that jury sit there and judge me? That's what they're there for, Dingus Khan. They were there to judge the case. It's like this lady has got to be total narcissistic, borderline personality disorder. I'm not kidding. I think honestly she's possibly psychotic. And I don't mean murderous psychotic. I mean as in she can't figure out how she lost. I'm like, watch 5 minutes of your own trial. You looked like a. I'm not kidding. The only thing she was missing, and this is for you old folks who remember the Caine Mutiny movie, the only thing she was missing was a pair of frickin' ball bearings and some missing strawberries. Okay? It was the strawberries. And of course, and I'm like, come on, you can't sit there and tell me. And now this is going to get a bit graphic for you younger folks. You can't sit there and tell me that you had your nose broken multiple times, yet you're sitting there not even 24 hours later with a pristine nose that you've always had without any form of corrective work. You can't have not had your nose broken how many times across how many years and not be sitting there with a nose that looks like a badly bent U-pipe on a faucet, okay, or on a drain pipe. That's what I mean. It's like, I'm sorry, folks. I know people who've had their noses broken. They don't sit there and look like they're fashion model pretty again less than 48 hours later to be on a damn talk show. Not to mention, the way she said he was doing this, doing that, and he's got rings on. It's like, yet she's had no medical attention. Then she's claiming the whole, shall we say, the glass bottle incident, which is right out of the movie Paris Trout, by the way, and I think that's probably where she got it. And yet, you didn't go see a gynecologist afterwards. Or not, are you kidding? You know how much you could bleed to death just from what she described there, because internal bleeding doesn't always show up. Or when it does, it's usually too late. So, yeah, she was lying out her butt. And there's no way in mankind she's going to convince anybody otherwise. She seems to think that she's such a great actress that she's going to be able to go on later and convince everybody that she was just misunderstood. And it's like, sorry, you're not that great of an actress, girl. I don't care if you're Meryl Streep. You were busted. All right. I'm not kidding. Even if she had Meryl Streep acting ability, she's not walking back into the industry. It's over. It's done. Yep. And rightfully so, Depp's lawyer tore her apart. Rightfully so. She had it coming. And how we get off Neil Patrick Harris onto this, I don't know. But okay, well. Yep, she's definitely delusional. I think she's borderline psychopath. And when people hear psychopath, they automatically assume like, Mike Myers, Jason going nuts. No, a psychopath could be someone who's completely devoid of actual empathy or emotion, if I remember correctly. And I think that's what she is. I'm not kidding. She couldn't have been more guilty if she was a cat on trial for the missing goldfish with the damn bowl still hanging over her head. Okay, we have to relay her, thing via audio because her head's still trapped in the goldfish bowl. Now, I think that she's going to be minimized, if not completely cut out of the movie Aquaman 2. And it's easy to do. They've got more than a year till the movie releases. And remember, everything's digital now. It's not like you have to go in there and manually cut film anymore. All you gotta do is rerun the master copy through, and throw in some audio dubs here, some references there, and then all her scenes can go. Why not? Neil Patrick Harris could probably do a decent Amber Heard. He's a damn good actor. I got to give him that. Yeah, I think she's not going to be up here. I'm not kidding. And it's like she's sitting there going on about how this has set women back and all that. And I'm like, no, your testimony set women in the Me Too movement back 100 years. Because it was so obvious she was lying out her butt. Black Adam, like I said, I don't know much about the character other than some stuff I've heard here and there. So it's like I said, I'll probably give it a watch, but I have not seen Top Gun Maverick. I'm not even looking forward to seeing it. I can't figure out what everybody thought was so star-spangled great about this movie. Folks, I was there in the theater and saw Top Gun when it came out. It was not this great, moving, emotional story. It was, um, it was young Tom Cruise. It was that era of time. Then you had all these types of movies coming out every 5 minutes. You had Top Gun, Iron Eagle, and things like that, suddenly crapping themselves into existence at that time. Which made me, which really had me more than amused than anything, was the fact they had naval recruiting stations set up outside the theaters when Top Gun ran through the country, because they had people all convinced they could become like Maverick. It's like, yeah, you can become like Maverick, but you got to go to OCS school, you got to go through ROTC, or if you're really star-spangled lucky, you'll get into the academy. But you better have grades that come out the wazoo, and yeah, that's why I'm not really. I said I'll probably get around to, just out of curiosity, I'll watch Maverick, the Top Gun Maverick. But Fallout's still going. Like I said, I'm using Todd's character now pretty much. I do have Susan's character backed up, but I've got a lot of new toys to play with as far as settlement objects and things like that go. And I've got a whole lot of new settlements I didn't have with Susan that are set up right now. And I died laughing because the one I've got walled in, it looks like a walled city right out of the apocalypse. Well, folks, I just looked at the time. It's time for me to run inside. So please take care of yourselves and each other. Above everything, be kind, be calm, be safe. And hopefully we'll see you all in the future. And for you folks in my area, please be very careful, because it's going to be hotter than heck. All right, so take care, everyone. I'll see y'all hopefully later. Bye-bye.